Hello everybody, this is Nick Latrenta again doing my DVD reviews. So the last video that I literally just posted, this might actually end up going first because I'm doing this directly from my iPhone and hopefully be short enough to just load up from my iPhone. But the last video I did was kind of a general review of my DVD collections. You see, I got quite a few of them on the floor here. It's still a little messed up. But as I was going through them, you know, it's so hard to make a short video about these things. I realized I skipped one of my favorite movies, Underworld. So this is one I want to do a review on and talk about. And like I said, down the line, I'm going to do a review of like just the Batman films, just the Indiana Jones films, just the Karate Kid films, things like that. A bunch of shorter videos rather than one giant one, I think would be easier, you know, just for fun and spare time. But without further ado, let's go to Underworld. So this stars Kate Beckinsale and Scott Speedman and Bill Nighy, who should really be on the cover here, and he's not because he kind of steals the movie. So the reason I want to review this so much is this is such a unique film. This right here is basically it's vampires versus werewolves, and of course that's ridiculous, but the way it's done is very, very different, and depending on what version you watch, it's different too. So for example, this is the director's cut. A director's cut is how could I say, a director's cut is the original version the director wanted, and the theatrical version released was different. Okay, so this is edited differently than the theatrically released version. It just means it's a little bit longer. There's a few extra scenes in it, a little bit more character development, so you get more backstory on the two main characters played by Kate Beckinsale and Scott Speedman here. The story basically is that vampires and werewolves have been at war with each other for centuries. The vampires ended up doing very well from themselves. They have several mansions, which they refer to as covens, all over the planet. And Kate Beckinsale is the lead death dealer, and death dealer is somebody who hunts and kills werewolves, basically. In the process of her doing this, she ends up finding this human named Michael, who ends up being bitten by a lichen, which is the term they use for werewolves. Lichen is Latin for werewolf, or just wolf, excuse me. Then they end up falling in love, and he's ended up becomes some sort of crazy monster here, so I'm not going to try not to give away too many spoilers with it. So it's kind of like a Romeo and Juliet-ish kind of story in that sense. It's certainly not Shakespeare, but it's a fun movie. The director's cut is a drama with action in it. The theatrical version is a drama, or excuse me, an action film with drama in it. I don't know if I would classify this actually as a horror film, even though it has vampires and werewolves. It's just not done like a horror film. It's not really done for scares. It's not really done to give you nightmares or anything. It's very, very story oriented. So I'd really recommend it. I think if you like action films, if you like dramas, you would like this. Of course, there's a little bit of horror in it, but you know, you have to, of course, you know, expect that with a movie about vampires and werewolves. And Bill Nighy is in this movie. He's a British actor. He plays a character called Victor in it, who's kind of the sort of the lead vampire in it. Again, without giving it away, even though this is a review, I don't want to give too much of it away. This is more of a recommendation. You know, Victor is you know, kind of the mentor of Kate Beckinsale's character in it, and he steals the movie. I mean, he's just if anyone's familiar with the film Love Actually, or I actually have a film Bill Nighy is in over here someplace. What is it called? Shaun of the Dead. I have it up here somewhere. Shaun of the Dead. He's in that too, and you know, he's just steals any movie he's in. He's just a great character actor, a great actor in general, lead actor in my opinion. So anyway, I would recommend this movie. It's just very interesting, very different. One of my favorite films. I do have one of the sequels, which I'll just go over real quick. The sequels are not as good. The first time I saw this sequel, I was really impressed by it because I was so high on the characters. But looking back on it, this is more of your kind of typical action film with a lot of special effects and much more horror-oriented, much more into the blood and guts. It goes a little bit more into the backgrounds of the Bill Nighy character, Victor, and the other characters in it. There are two other sequels, Underworld Rise of the Lycans, which goes into the history of how the Lycans, the werewolves, and the vampires got together and started fighting, basically. So that's worth seeing for that. And then there's Underworld 4, which was just kind of a cash grab. That was done in 3D. Those films, it's kind of like The Matrix. You know, so you see here The Matrix. The first film was really great, very story-oriented, and the sequels were more about the action and the special effects. I feel the same way about the Underworld films. So they're all worth watching, but the first one, great story, great action, great performances, really worth giving a look at. So if you like vampires, you like werewolves, you like action, you like drama, even a little bit of romance, I'd recommend this one right here, Underworld.